Hey, Danu, can you hear me okay?
Yep, sure can, Jillian. This
Uh-oh,
what's that?
I
Can you hear
can't
me?
hear you.
Uh, you should. Here, hold on. Let me turn
I
everything
can
on.
see do you see the captions on the bottom of the screen?
Yeah. I
Okay,
just
this is so weird. I can't hear you at all.
huh. Uh,
All right, here comes Tim.
okay. Can you hear me now?
I still can't hear you, but you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Let me
Okay,
see. I'm not
this
sure
is so
why.
weird.
I know this. I know this new
Tim,
Zoom,
will
man.
you try talking?
Sure.
I hear
Did
Tim
it?
too.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I'm not
Danu,
coming
can you hear
through.
Tim? Will you give me a thumbs up? Shucks.
Okay.
Okay, it's on my end. I will try
Strange.
to
I can hear
figure
you
out
just
what's
fine,
going on with
Jillian.
my audio. Okay, I think I fixed it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, awesome. Okay, cool.
Oh, oh, great. Because I'm kind of lost with all this kind of high tech stuff. This
I
new
knew we've
Zoom,
only been using it now for like 5 years.
I know. Well, now we have this new Zoom thing, I keep trying to like back off, and the thing like follows me and zooms in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of
That
weird,
sounds
but
fancy.
yeah. How you doing, Tim?
Pretty good.
Good. Hi,
Okay.
Chris. Do an audio
Hi.
test, Chris.
What's up?
Yep, good. Audio
Hi.
test. That's good. Yeah.
That's my new bike in the background.
What'd you get?
Oh,
I got
nice.
I got a hardtail e-bike so I can commute to work.
Oh, it's an e-bike. Cool.
Yeah,
How do you like it?
I love it. Today I rode to work and home and it was wonderful.
Okay, we just need one more. Natalie's gonna be dropping in and out because she's got another thing going on tonight too. So
Okay.
she'll join us when she can. And I know Anthony was gonna be here tonight too. And then that's just it. That would be the four of us. Oh, there's Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Hey guys. I know
Hi.
the women's club is like 10 feet that way. So it's
I'm
all
just waiting
good.
for I'm just waiting for Anthony to join us.
Okay.
Then we can get started.
All right. Julia, I like your hair. She's not listening.
Who?
Jillian, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, Jillian.
Yeah, I just like her
No,
haircut.
I can now. This thing was happening. I had to turn off my work phone. It was switching my audio to my phone instead of my computer. I don't know what's
Oh,
happening, but I can hear you
mhm.
now.
Okay. And I like Tim's hair too. Looks good.
Oh,
Thanks.
actually, I can't. All right. Sorry, guys.
Oh, hey, Rebecca's here.
Hi, Danu.
Okay, yay. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing?
Doing good yourself?
I'm good. I'm
Nice.
good. Okay, I guess we could start. And when Anthony comes, he could just join us, okay? So tonight we have Jillian Rossi and Natalie Johnson, Chris Grow, Rebecca Wood, and Tim Bresnahan and Danu attending this meeting. I'd like to call it to order, and if I could get an approval of this agenda from someone.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. We don't have any public comments, so I don't have anything to report under Park and Rec. And Natalie, our council liaison.
Sure. I'm also just all over the place, so I don't have a great detailed update for you. But as you all know, Creek Walk 4 is under construction, which is exciting, but is going to be a little messy, but I'm excited. The Hiawatha trees. So I went on a tour today. I think they offered council, all of us, an opportunity to walk through and look at the trees and talk about them. And I think it was very similar to the experience that you all had. And I think your recommendations are going to hold, but we'll see when we have that discussion tomorrow. But it is, it's tough. There's a lot of, again, little trees and all the different complexities that go into that. And I just want to appreciate your work, even though we're also going on a tour and weighing in. I still think you did a really great job in getting us to where we are. So I want to appreciate that piece and PARAB's contribution to that. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about Creek Walk Phase 6, and that's up Serpentine Road. I haven't had a chance to really spend a lot of time with the packet yet to go through it, but we're looking at several different options in terms of where the trail will go. It's just a work session, so we won't be obviously voting on anything, just hearing about the opportunities and options. We don't have all the funding for that anyway, so I'm not quite sure what the timing is, when that moves forward. But if you all want to check it out, it's in our packet. And then if not, I can give you an update next month too on sort of where we landed with it.
Natalie, who's going to do that presentation?
That's a good question. Jillian, do you know offhand?
I do.
I just, yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Mhm.
Great. Yes, Ben Schmidt, our city engineer / public services director, will be giving the presentation tomorrow evening.
Nice.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? All good? Okay, feel free to bug me anytime.
Okay. Any questions for
right.
Natalie?
Okay, and I am going to drop off the call. I'm going to go eat pasta.
Okay.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
Okay, thank you, Natalie.
Bye.
Alrighty. We don't have any minutes from open space. Jillian, director's report.
All right, I'm going to share my screen really quickly. So you should be looking at our new memorial bench in Mansions Park. We got the bench installed along with the plaque. I believe the team got it in late last week, but it looks really good. Thanks to New for helping figure out how to get the right size bench in that location.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
But it's one of the prettier spots I think they could have picked. It looks really good where it is. And thanks to this new bench, we were able to do some shuffling, and one of our very old, kind of dilapidated benches, we ended up donating to the food pantry, and they're going to refurbish it and use it to help when folks are waiting at the food pantry. So that was really awesome. But the bench looks great. So thanks, PARAB, for approving this. I think it's a really good location for it. And I'll stop sharing now. And the only other thing I wanted to cover in the director's report, so Natalie already mentioned that Creek Walk Phase 6 is going to be discussed at the city council work session tomorrow. Something else I thought would definitely be interesting to PARAB is there's also going to be a discussion about charging for parking along El Paso Boulevard, adjacent to Fields Park, as well as the Shriver Park parking lot. So definitely something I'm interested in. I want to know more about it. They're not discussing charging for parking at the Fields Park parking lot proper, the one that's right by the restrooms, but they are going to discuss doing paid parking along El Paso. So wanted to put that on PARAB's radar. And John, our parking and mobility director, will be discussing that with council tomorrow.
Jillian, can I ask or comment real quick?
Yeah.
So when I can't attend tomorrow, I have another event, but could you maybe make a plug for Manitou residents to not have to pay for parking? Because when I come down, it's really discouraging for a resident to have to come and pay for park, especially like a Shriver or a Phil's. Like, I think there should be some kind of caveat for us, but anyways.
Yeah, I will definitely mention that to John. I would almost guarantee that'll be discussed during the work session tomorrow, but yes, I'll mention that, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a question about Shriver. So like if people were to go use the pool facilities, would they have to pay for parking?
No, so the solution that was discussed with that is folks who have a membership to the pool and fitness center, they would have some sort of placard that would go either in their car, or when folks scan their license plate, it would show up that they're a member of the pool and fitness center, so they would not need to pay for parking.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. And that's all I have for this portion of the director's report.
Okay, great. Oh, did you want to do anything about the arborist report, Jillian? I know we got those trees pruned in Fields. Yeah.
Yeah, did everyone see the trees that were pruned as you're driving into the Fields Park parking lot? They look a lot better. I think they look awesome. So thank you for funding that. They look great. Less like scary Halloween trees, more like big, beautiful willows. So that's awesome. I don't have a lot for the arborist report. Our team has been busy watering new trees that have been planted this year, as well as doing some clearance pruning. They were out on Garden of the Gods Place today, pruning. And we're down a cemetery caretaker. So our acting city arborist is our former cemetery caretaker. So he's been helping out in the cemetery while we have this gap. So thanks to New for the reminder.
Sure. I'm just curious, how many folks do you have on park staff now?
Full-time?
Yeah, well, full-time, or I don't think we have any seasonals, right?
We actually do have a seasonal forestry technician who's going to stay with us through December,
Okay.
because our forestry division is pretty low right now. So he'll be helping Aaron through the end of the year. His name is Michael. And then we have 3 full-time parks maintenance workers. We have Aaron, who's our acting city arborist, Michael, who's our seasonal forestry tech, who's assisting him. We have 4 full-time folks at the pool, and then our 4-person facilities staff, and then Megan, our events coordinator.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So that's your parks team then, eh?
That's the parks team. And we are
Okay.
down our cemetery caretaker, really hoping to be able to rehire later on. It's an important position.
Right, right. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep.
Any questions for Jillian? All right, if not, we'll move on to old business. Jillian, you want to go ahead and take the floor again about adding pickleball striping on the tennis court?
Yeah, so I included this letter in the PARAB agenda packet from, I believe it was 28 of our pickleballers who signed this letter, really polite letter, just asking if we would consider again restriping, or not really restriping, but adding pickleball stripes to the tennis court, just to offer another court option for pickleball players while the courts are not being used by tennis players. And I know we visited this. I think this was one of the first topics we covered when I started with the city was how does PARAB feel about relining the tennis court to expand our pickleball options? And we ended up doing a survey, and essentially the survey had more of our tennis folks, or maybe not tennis, but more folks saying that they were against hybridizing the tennis court. And we kind of dropped it from there, but it's definitely been brought up again. And not just from this most recent letter, but I've also received at least 5 emails from pickleball players requesting that the tennis court be restriped so it can accommodate both sports. But I would love to hear PARAB's thoughts on this again.
Thoughts, PARAB?
I think I'm okay with it as long as it wouldn't affect tennis play if there were actually tennis players there.
I feel the same way. I don't see a huge issue with it.
Mhm. And the net would still stay the same for the tennis court players, and it wouldn't be
Yep.
changed for the pickleballers. Yeah. Rebecca, have any thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts, but I will keep most of them to myself. I it's remarkable the vocalness of the pickleball players, but I think I'm fine with it. It's whatever. As long as it, like Tim said, doesn't impact the tennis players, it's fine.
Tennis players would have first dibs, right? They'd have priorities still.
They would. And that was mentioned in the letter as well, that tennis players would have priority. And I'm still thinking about this also. I want to make sure that I think this all the way through. It's $2,500 to stripe the court. That's the quote I got. I reached out to a lot of folks and I got one quote back. So it's not terrible, but that's what it would cost to restripe the court. So maybe something we consider for 2026. But I also want to make it contingent on the pickleball players actually, respecting the tennis players. And if they start hogging the court and we're getting complaints from tennis players, it may be something we need to reverse, but I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know how easy or difficult that would be to remove striping once it's on there. So something to think more about. But it sounds like this group of PARAB members is supportive of the striping.
I think supportive might be a little bit of a stretch, Jillian.
Okay.
Especially with $2,500, but if they're using the courts, then it's a good thing, I suppose.
Hey, Rebecca, what are some of your reservations?
The sheer amount of things that we have catered to the pickleballers in all of our discussions over the years, it's a bit absurd to me. But again, certain individuals have more say, so it's okay. Again, if they're using the courts, I'm okay with that. But again, make sure that the tennis ball or the tennis players have priority somehow, make sure that is in the place. And then again, $2,500 is a bit for striping, but if we have it in the budget, that's okay, I guess.
I think they would resurface the tennis court too, and then put the stripes on there. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a
Julia?
resurfacing and adding the stripes. They would want to redo all of it so it looks nice. So yeah, resurface and a restripe.
Okay, then I'm okay with that.
And we could, if we approve this, we could take the funds out of the El Paso Beckers fund to pay for it. So I think we have enough left in that budget to cover that.
Would it be too far to ask for donations to defray the cost and speed up the process? I mean, $2,500 to add more spaces, quite a bit, but and again, I'm not bringing that up to try to block it. That's not my interest.
Right. I don't know.
I don't think that's something we've ever done before.
Right.
And I
it'd
wouldn't
be
say
hard.
it's, I wouldn't say it's contingent upon that, but
It'd be hard. It'd be hard because we'd have to have somebody be the point person to, take the donations, and then we'd have to get some PR out about this, and
I can run it
uh,
by Cass, our PIO, just to see what what it could look like. If PARAB would be interested in me doing that.
if we were gonna fund it, like, how soon would we want to do this? Is this something we would do right away, or is this something that we would wait on from a budget standpoint?
I guess that would depend on the scheduling of the company of when they would have time to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would
Right.
need to be done before winter. We wouldn't want to do it during the winter. So I'd say either now-ish or next spring would be the time to do it.
Yeah, and the El Paso Beckers Fund it's got a steady revenue stream. So we could, do a 2026 request for those funds to be used for restriping the court. Yeah, I kind of feel like if we're gonna stripe it, we should just, go with it and not look back.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, asking for donations, I think wouldn't be, like I said, wouldn't be for me, like have that as a condition of, getting started. I'm for getting started on it and exploring whether or not, because I'm also just thinking down the road in terms of use. I mean, it's great to see people, using that stuff, but I can see us needing to be restriping on a tighter schedule than maybe what we were used to. So that could something that can be just explored separately. So I move to approve funds to restripe the remaining tennis court for pickleball play, contingent upon tennis players having priority at that court.
All right, do I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Rebecca, thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Raise your hand or say aye.
I
Hi.
Aye. And
How long is it going to be until we have to talk about pickleball again? Is this going to buy us some time?
that's what I'm saying. We've donated, so like we've supported them so much, and like with the windscreens and when do we stop? Let's stop now.
Yeah, I don't know, Rebecca. The
Okay.
only thing that gives me pause is that as I'm getting older, it's going to appeal to me sooner or later. I just don't know when.
Nope.
Not for you.
Okay, well then, I'll talk with you, Jillian, after you contact that company and find out what their schedule is like, and then
Okay.
we can go better from there as to when this happens.
Okay. And we'll also develop some signage to go in the court to remind politely to remind pickleballers that tennis players do have priority. And that was,
Yes.
that's part of the deal here. So we'll work on that signage in conjunction with the restriping and resurfacing.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so motion passes to add pickleball striping on the tennis court. All right. All right. Now we're moving on to our budget. Our proposed 2026 budget here. Okay, so we get a yearly revenue stream of about $50,000 to $55,000 a year. And I've kind of like earmarked our 2026, 2027 projects that's going to require funding, perhaps. The first one is the Soda Springs Park, the sod area in front of the pavilion. I'd like to either try to do that next year or in 2027. And I suspect that perhaps we won't be getting any kind of funding for that, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what's in the capital improvement project line item for that. So I kind of want to kind of just have that on our radar for potential, like adding some funds to make that happen. The second thing that I've identified is I'd kind of like to move forward on the flats with the construction documents. And the first phase that we could do with the $65,000 that I've earmarked is a schematic design followed by design development. And if we do those two steps, we could have a rough cost estimate of what park development will cost before we move into construction documents. So, without talking to Robin or Mia, I'm not sure how far that $65,000 will go. But I imagine that we're gonna probably need to probably have more money on hand to keep on going with that particular project. Once we get a cost estimate of what that park development will entail, we can start researching grants. And so I'd like to get that process going maybe in 2026 after we get the schematic design and design development drawings back. And then once we start researching grants, we're going to probably need some money, perhaps, to be matching funds for any kind of grants that we might get. Rebecca, you have experience with these kind of grants. Is there usually a match that they require from us who are requesting a grant?
It just depends on these the particular grant. So many of the ones I was thinking it wouldn't require that. I put together a list of things that potential grants that we can maybe tap into or Manny can tap into. I'll send that over to you. So we can start thinking about that. But yeah, I'll just send that. But it just depends on the specifics of which grant we're applying to. So
Okay. And then the last thing that I can think of that we're gonna need to like have funding for is maybe to do a joint funding on redoing the trail map and parks pamphlet, which is coming up in our agenda later. And I don't know, can you guys think of any other big projects that you want to take on for 2026, 2027?
Do we have any equipment that we see will need replacing?
Say it again, Tim?
I said, do we have any equipment, like particularly playground equipment or picnic tables, anything like that, that we may need to consider replacing in the next year? Or start to think about that?
That could be a possibility too. And if you want, I could add that line item back in because I used to have benches and picnic tables in the budget, I think. But then when Skylar was our Park and Rec director, he took that on under his budget under the parks. So I know that Jillian, you kind of got your budget kind of cut back a little bit for 2026. So if you folks would like, I could add that line item in there as well.
Yeah, as far as replacement items go, I am going to talk in a little bit about a lawnmower request. But we have a few other big ticket items on our list. Our playgrounds do need some help. Parks like Mabel Willie, once we've done our monthly playground inspections, some of them just aren't passing, and we either need to do some serious repairs or consider replacement for some of those pieces. But on our priority list right now, because those playgrounds are still safe, they're just not ideal. We do have our lawnmowers at the top. Picnic tables and benches, we're actually doing pretty well right now. We can get through another year, I think, with the condition that they're in. But it would be playground equipment and then these lawn mowers I'm going to talk about in a little bit on our list.
Okay. Um, so maybe what I'll do is I'll get with Becca when she's got time and add that line item back in for benches and picnic tables, Tim. What do you think? Like maybe 5,000, 10,000?
5,000?
Okay.
And could we make it generic that just said like park equipment? So we don't have to, because if their picnic tables are okay.
Right. Well, we could, I could increase the parks line item here. Because I have 35,000 in that line item. And it is conceivable that we could just take if we need to replace any benches or picnic tables, it could come out of the parks line item. But I'll get with Becca and see where we're at here. So, all right, well then other than that, maybe what I'll do then is I'll just either back in the benches and picnic tables at 5,000, or I'll just add 5,000 into parks in general, the line item parks for PARAB. Does that sound good? And then playground equipment, Jillian, that can come under pool and recreation, and there's $25,000 in that one.
Okay. I mean, that sounds great to me.
Okay. So I'm wondering, should I make these, can we approve the 2026 budget proposal, adding another $5,000 to the parks line item, which would make it 40,000?
So Danu, I just have a clarifying question. So
Yes.
right now in the budget under pool and recreation, it
Yes.
says that account line is for senior and ADA fitness equipment. And then replacement playground equipment is already under parks. So
Right.
do we want to move that around, or what are you thinking?
Well, the recreation piece could come under, could replace some of the playground equipment, because that's recreation too. Because I don't see the senior fitness equipment happening anytime soon. And hopefully the pool has enough of its own funding from the city so that we don't have to kick any money to help the pool out.
So do we want to retitle that account line or leave it as pool and recreation?
I can get with Becca about that.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it'd be helpful to make them, I guess, more specific or designed for what PARAB wants to use them for. Because I know the pool's going to get pretty excited if they see pool on there.
I know.
So,
Well, technically our money is eligible for the pool to use, technically.
because the
From the-
pool's in the park.
Well, yeah, and it's a part of the conservation trust fund.
Okay.
It qualifies, yeah.
Hey Danu, this is a side question because we used to have money in for the pocket parks. Does anybody have any updates about what happened with that property? It just kind of, they're trying to sell it and on Crystal Park Road.
Yeah, I think it's still for sale. And nobody has come up with the money that the owners are asking. However, I believe that what Parks dedication, that still stands. That's still good to go in terms of saving those 2 corner lots for parks. And I can follow up and double check with our planning director about that too, just to make sure, but I think I did ask them that at one time, and they said that that was still earmarked for parks. The only thing is that we haven't gotten our fees in lieu of land, and we won't get that money until that property sells.
Yeah.
Sells
Okay.
or is developed.
Probably sells. Because once it sells, then I think they have to go through the whole legal process of, well, I don't know what's entailed, but they're gonna have to kind of revisit a lot of stuff.
Thanks, Tanu.
Okay. Um, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2026 proposed budget with the changes of adding another $5,000 to parks, line item parks.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor?
I
Hi.
Anyone opposed? Okay, then motion will pass. And now we move on to item 3 on old business, which is rotating the secretary position. Now, Tim had an idea of maybe, we could take turns, maybe doing the minutes. I did look into seeing if our conservation trust fund would fund a paid position for the secretary to take our minutes, but I haven't heard back from them. But just rereading the guidelines, it kind of constitutes a salary, and I don't think that the Conservation Trust Fund allows that. So, I know Chris already put in her time, so I wouldn't ask you. Oh, Anthony's here. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Danu.
Hi. Hey, I'm sorry, you missed the discussion about the pickleball courts.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, we approved adding the pickleball striping with a few folks having reserved feelings about it, including you. But
All right.
because of the
Yes.
letter and public pressure, we decided that Jillian would make a sign giving tennis players precedent of usage on that court.
Yeah, I just think, I think it is kind of a loss for the tennis players in terms of access. So I was just going to say, I think in general, it would be nice to add facilities rather than, taking away from the tennis folks. But anyway, sorry to be late and miss that discussion.
Oh, no, that's okay. Did you want to add anything to, but I guess it's kind of after the fact now, because, if you want to be or vote against it, you can go on record as being one against.
Yeah, I'm strongly against it.
Okay.
And just to clarify, PARAB, I'm still on the fence myself. So I'm still like reaching out to other smaller municipalities who only have a couple of courts to see how they're handling the influx of pickleball players and interacting with their current pickleball courts, or sorry, with their current tennis courts. So I'm going to decide within the next week, but I just needed to know tonight whether or not PARAB supported it. So just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I'll put Anthony is opposed to adding pickleball striping on the tennis court. Now, Anthony, we're on old business, item 3, rotating secretary position. Since Candace resigned from our board, we don't really have anyone to take minutes. And Tim suggested that maybe we could all kind of rotate and try to capture what we talked about in our meetings. And I'm open to conversation here. I mean, because Jillian, if we don't find somebody, then it falls on you to do to do our minutes.
Yep, that's correct. I'm taking them now just in case.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, well, yeah, this is good that you are, because we have some kind of major kind of motion things that need to be documented. So, thoughts, you guys? I think nobody wants to be our secretary. Is that
Ideally,
correct?
yeah, ideally we get a new member and they'd be excited about being the secretary. Pending that, if everybody is up for taking turns, I would volunteer to go first for the next meeting. That's all I've got.
Would that be in October? So since Jillian's taking minutes right now?
I've been taking no notes. I guess I could rewatch.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with taking turns, even though I would prefer to never have to do it again. But
Yeah.
I at least taking turns would make me feel like I'm not the only one doing it every month.
Yeah, I know it's a big ask. It is.
And Chris, I just want to say thank you for carrying the weight for so long. We appreciate you. And I can do a rotation. That's fine. If we need to do it, that way Jillian doesn't have to do it herself.
Yeah. I'll do a rotation too.
I
Is
am
that okay if
curious.
I'm the chair? Sorry?
I still wouldn't mind I mean, I'm conflicted about hiring somebody to do it because I'm jealous of OSAC's ability to have somebody else just do it. Um, but at the same time, I'm also it could save a lot of money to just have us rotate. And I don't know
Right.
why they're really allowed to have somebody get paid to do it. So anyway, yes, I'm conflicted, and I guess it would be more in line with my values to just volunteer to rotate. And thank you, Rebecca, for the shout out.
Okay, well, Jillian, since you're already doing the minutes, do you mind if we just have you continue for this meeting? Or would you rather Tim review the meeting and do the minutes?
I can do them for this meeting. That's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so then Tim, you can do October?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, well, let's see how that works out. Anthony, are you okay with that? Would you be willing to rotate in for one meeting for minutes?
Yeah, I can do that. I like Tim's idea of, yeah, we probably need some new folks anyway and be a great introduction for them. So,
Okay, great. Okay, well, let's move on to new business then. I would like to request PARAB to approve funding for the memorial bench that was just installed. What happened was we ordered a regular new bench, but I made the mistake of not measuring the pad. And so the new bench was too long for the pad. So I had to reorder a shorter bench. And so the applicant had already paid for the 6-foot bench. And so I would am asking PARAB if they would approve funds for the 4-foot bench as a replacement for the memorial bench. It is $1,240.27. And that can come out of our line item of our memorial tree bench fund that we have $5,000 in there for. And then parks, Jillian, you guys have another bench then to put somewhere in our parks.
Yeah, and since Para purchased that bench anew, if you guys have any specific locations you'd like to see it, I know we weren't going to mention it again, but I know that the pickleball community has also requested
No.
another bench. I'm
No,
just being
no,
honest.
no.
Okay, we can put it somewhere else. But since, I mean, it was purchased by PARAB, so yeah, if you guys have another location you've been eyeballing for it, and we'll keep our eyes open too, but we're storing it for now.
Okay. Okay, that's a no vote there from Rebecca. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the funds to pay for the 4-foot replacement memorial bench for $1,240?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you,
A
Rebecca.
second. This is Chris.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, item 2, request for funds for a lawnmower, for 2 lawnmowers. Jillian?
Great. So I'm sharing my screen, and I did include the funding request in the packet. So essentially, the Parks and Rec crew is using 3 riding lawnmowers each summer season, and they were purchased at least 12 to 15 years ago. So what's happening is these lawnmowers have reached the end of their service life, and they're now each of them having to be repaired multiple times throughout the season. It's not really a joke, but it kind of is. We've had to do lawnmower rescues where folks have been on lawnmowers and mid mowing have just broken down and have had to have a trailer come and pick them up and take them back up to the shop. It wastes a lot of time, and it doesn't just waste our parks maintenance workers' time. It's also work for our mechanic, who is our only mechanic who works on all of our vehicles in our fleet as well as all of our equipment. So these lawnmowers are essentially just dying as they reach the end of their service life, and they are commercial mowers. So what we're requesting from PARAB, and this is essentially due to budget restraints that the city is facing right now. The Parks and Recreation budget has been cut, and we're going to go pretty flat into 2026. So we're requesting a couple of replacement mowers going into 2026. And the reason we're just requesting 2 is we think with our 3rd mower that we have, it's kind of the newest one in our old fleet. We think it can last another season or 2, but we do have 2 that are they're just not. I don't think they'll make it through another season, and I'm getting uncomfortable putting my staff on equipment that I'm pretty sure is going to break down with them on it in the field. So I know the price tag is big. They're about $18,500 each. These are commercial grade. These have advanced safety features for our staff. Something really nice about these mowers, and by the way, this is pretty much the same model as what we're using now. Instead of shooting the grass to the side like our current mowers, these mowers shoot the grass behind. So we have more of a control as to where that grass and debris is going, and we're less likely to accidentally spray debris on parked cars if we're working near parking lots. And this model also has a foot brake. versus a hand brake, which are easier to use in the field and they help the machine stop faster when needed. So just a few specs with this new model, a little bit safer than what we're working with now. So the total there would be just under 37,000. And honestly, if PARAB could fund one of these, that would be incredible. Two is our goal. And that could be split up between a couple of years or whatever makes the most sense for what PARAB is wanting to fund. But that is our request. And this is at the very top of the Parks and Rec need list right now, as far as equipment goes.
Are there electric options?
There are electric options. The electric options I don't have listed here. Some models are a little more expensive, so a little bit larger of a price tag. They don't have as much field testing, of course, as the gas-powered electric riding mowers have. But we have looked at the zero-turn riding electric mowers in the past. And I think that was when there was some sort of, I don't know if it was an ordinance or a law that was going into effect where all replacement equipment had to be electric in Colorado. I don't believe that's still the case. But the gas powered are lower cost and they will last a long time, as I'm sure the electric would as well. But this is the model we're requesting this time.
I would like to see electric options.
Okay.
PARAB, more discussion, please.
I think I would support at least one of these, right? Because especially if like the electric aren't quite so field tested, at least we'd know one was up and running for sure good.
Chris?
Yeah, I guess I agree with Rebecca that to approve one for now and then in the future more, if we could have more numbers or like about, regarding the electric options.
Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, if it's urgent, yeah, I think that sounds like a good approach. Like electric just definitely seems like a good idea moving forward.
Let's say that we already have a contractor that we use intermittently that uses electric mowers. Might be a resource.
Yeah, I was actually wondering about that. About seeing if clean air lawn care could be utilized to kind of, instead of buying new mowers, or like, is that really necessary to have those items, or could that be something that we could contract with Steve on?
I will clarify. I wasn't proposing contracting. I was proposing getting more information in terms of use and durability and range and things like that.
Oh, got you. Okay, yeah.
My own personal feelings is that I would rather that our funds were used for more of our parks and projects and some type of recreation. I would actually prefer that for this, the lawnmower, that would come under the parks budget out of your fund instead of us paying for that for you. I'd rather see our money go toward, some of our bigger projects that we have going right now. Because even if we pay for one, that's still 18,500. And that 18,500 go for a number of other projects that we have coming up.
Yeah, I guess I should have asked the clarifying. Is this coming out of our, oh, it's 26 funding request, so it'd be next year's. Um, I guess, is there a way
Right.
to move some stuff around though, Danu? So like, and Jillian, so Jillian could pay for this, and then we would pick up some of the other costs that you would feel were more contributing to the recreation side?
Could you, oh, was that
Repeat
for,
that again? Yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was
I'm
just
not,
gonna ask Rebecca to repeat.
yeah,
Well, I was just gonna say, if Danu, if you feel more comfortable with us providing some other support, maybe Jillian can move some things around so she would cover this particular component, and then we could make up, maybe the equipment or some other component that's not this.
yeah. Like we could actually, use that 18,500 toward like more like the playground equipment. Or any one of our big projects that we have coming up in the next couple of years, which is, either the sod for Soda Springs Park or the flats uh, construction documents.
So this one is something that we would not be able to pull from parks. Typically, a purchase like this, we would put under a capital improvement project. We actually did have the lawnmower on this year's SIP, but we ended up pulling it off due to budget restraints. So this, it wouldn't be something I could pull easily from the parks budget. We could make it work if we absolutely have to, which we probably will. It's an important purchase, but typically this would be something I'd request as a capital improvement item versus pulling from my operating budget. Similar to high dollar playground equipment.
Mhm. Well, Parab, I guess we just have to decide how we want to allocate our funds and to what projects and what purpose that we want to spend our money, how we want to spend our money. How about Jillian, if we kicked in 10,000 for one, would that help?
That would definitely help. Would that be this year, Danu, or next year? Just whatever you end up voting on, just clarify the year so I can put it in the minutes.
Probably this year would be good because we haven't really spent too much money this year out of our budget. So if you wanted to like, uh if you wanted to pull, $10,000 out of our conservation trust fund for 2025, I'm not sure how that would work with your accounting and everything. But I don't know, that's another option, Para.
Like I said, I'm good with supporting either. I would just prefer that if we're using our funds, that we move towards something better for the environment, and would love to see electric options.
Well, Tim, we could put the $10,000 toward an electric option too,
Well, I mean, assuming it's viable technology for our needs now, but yeah.
Harold, what do you think about that? Instead of saying flat out no, we could maybe just, kick in $10,000 toward the purchase of one of the lawnmowers.
I'm in favor of that for sure. For 2025, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, well, does somebody want to make a motion or do you want to discuss this further?
I move to approve giving the parks for the lawnmower give them $10,000 for 2025.
For a lawnmower?
Yeah, for out of capital improvement. Do you need that part, Jillian?
No, actually, it would come out of the Conservation Trust Fund
Okay.
under
It'll move
parks.
to pull it from Conservation Trust Fund to support the lawnmower.
Okay, does anybody want to second that?
I will if we can tack on a request that the city review electric options.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Perfect. I'm
All
on.
in-
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor then?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay. Oh, wait,
Awesome.
Anthony.
Thanks, Parab.
Yeah, you're in favor, right, Anthony?
Sorry, yes, that's correct. Aye.
Okay, okay. All right, Jillian. You got $10,000 from us, okay?
All right, really appreciate it. And I will look back at our electric options that we had pegged a couple of years ago.
Okay. Next item is our updating the Manitou Springs Trails and Parks pamphlet. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. The chamber has been given these out, and they need more printed. But I wanted to run it by PARAB because there's a section here that has the Manitou Springs City Parks and descriptions of all the parks. And I would like PARAB to review all of these descriptions and maybe we can edit some of the descriptions to make it more accurate. Uh, um, and then I know that OSAC will be reviewing the trails portion of it too, to make sure that we have all of the new trails included in the pamphlet. And I'm not sure, OSAC originally did all the funding for this original pamphlet here. And I don't know if they'd be willing to fund an update and reprinting of more of these pamphlets, or if they perhaps might ask PARAB to kick in some money to go partner with them on it, on the cost of getting these reprinted. But I just wanted to put this on our radar. And if you guys have time, I have enough where I can maybe give each one of you guys one of these pamphlets so you can go over everything.
Yeah, I don't see any mention in there of pickleball. Not serious, guys.
Well,
Oh,
well played,
I was
Sam.
like,
Well played.
let's see, that would be yeah, that's funny.
I did have a question about Fields Park. So in this brochure, it's listed as the Fields Park, and then we have it on our park signs as Fields Park. Does Parab know what the correct title for Fields is? Is it the or just Fields?
I think it's just fields. But we can check on that. I've
I've
just
never
referred
heard
to it
anybody
as
call it. I've never heard anybody call it the fields.
the fields. Yeah, neither have I, Tim.
Okay.
I see that Rainbow Falls is on here,
Yeah.
and that's kind
What
of
are we gonna do with
interesting.
that one?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I saw recently they've been having all these quote unquote private events, and they're not allowing the public in, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
That's Chris, that's Adventures Out West. They have deal with the Rainbow Falls folks, the El Paso County, because they have the parking lot that they're using on their property up there next door to our property.
Yeah,
And for 20 bucks, people can park their cars there and they'll shuttle the people down to Rainbow Falls.
uh-huh.
And then they'll shuttle them back up Serpentine to their cars. And so the private events, I'm thinking, is kind of like Adventures Out West's own private uh, tour of Rainbow Falls. And that's why they're calling it private events,
Huh.
so that they can make money adding it as part of their tours.
Well, I think that that is problematic. It's not really a PARAB issue, but as an El Paso County taxpayer, I have an issue with the closure of a public park. But um anyway, that's not on our agenda. But
Well, should you think we should take it out of there?
um
I,
it's
I
not a
would think we should take it out if it's not one of our city parks.
I'm not sure we should take it out because it is on the it is a park and it is on the map. And tourists might want to go check it out. Um, I don't think anyone should pay $20 to get a shuttle to go to it. I think anyone that can walk the entirety of the park can probably walk from town or walk from the parking spaces that are nearby.
Yeah. Does anybody have any more thoughts about that? I mean, maybe you could.
Are we, is there any move towards getting, away from paper brochures and moving more towards electronic versions that people can get via QR code?
Uh, for this particular pamphlet, probably not. Because this is something that they hand out to tourists that they can like easily access or have in their hand versus, QR codes and stuff like that. A lot of people don't have smartphones and things to be able to do that.
Huh.
So
I was thinking along
probably
the
not yet.
same.
What's that, Chris?
I was thinking the same thing that Tim was asking because there is an app with a walking tour that has been created. I don't know the name of it offhand, but I think a lot of this is probably already on there. And it was made, I think, in connection with Crane, perhaps. But perhaps they could have an option like a handout, like a little QR code that people could scan or the paper copy.
Uh,
But there is a walking tour app
yeah.
of Manitou. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay,
You
well,
can-
what's the actual, I've totally lost track. What's the actual ask here today? Is it just that we need to do an edit and consider funding, or we're gonna ask OSAC? What is it? What do we need to get to?
Okay, basically, I want you guys to edit the parks descriptions, decide, what we want to clean up or take out or whatever.
Okay,
And then, because there's a lot, I need to have OSAC go through the trails, make sure all the trails are accurate. And then on the back, it's got parking information and bus shuttle schedules and stuff like that, and rules. So I need the parking folks to weigh in on the parking information and update the bus shuttle schedules and things like that. So, it's still, we still have a ways to go before we can move forward. And then, once we have all our edits in, then we would go back to Dave Wolverton, who originally did this pamphlet, because he's got the hard copy, I think, on his drive, and figure out what the cost would be to reprint more of these pamphlets so the chamber can hand them out. So I just basically wanted PARAB just to be aware of that this was going to be coming up. And just when you guys have a moment, if you could just go through all of the descriptions of our city parks. And we could either do this maybe, I don't know, in January at our strategic meeting, or we could take time out at one of our other meetings, probably in November or December, and do the edits once you guys review everything.
Yeah, that's on our packet. We should all take a look at those descriptions, and then we can have an informed discussion about how to make those changes. And that shouldn't, I think, take very long.
Okay.
But yeah, printing costs and where these things go is an interesting question. I'd love to know what other Colorado tourist destinations do, whether or not other cities are still handing out pamphlets, or if there are electronic versions and that's becoming more common. I think a good advantage to that would be being able to access that from any park rather than having to go to the chamber and have an actual pamphlet. And that might be something that could defer our costs, but lots of things to discuss going forward. So
Right.
maybe we can get some more information on that as well. I know I'll try to do some research.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, and Jillian, if you want to bring that up to OSAC and get their feedback too.
Yeah, I do have one thing I know they're going to say. We are going to be doing trail development in Black Canyon open space next year. So they wouldn't want anything printed in paper until that trail system is complete. That way the map isn't irrelevant as soon as it's printed. So I will say we have some time on this. So yeah, I think PARAB taking their time this fall and winter to look through it and make some edits would be great. And then we will get, we'll use our GIS technician, Tony, to help map Black Canyon once it's complete. And that way we'll have it added to the new version of the map.
Okay.
And were you saying that most folks don't have smartphones?
She did
yeah.
say that.
I
that's
did
a
say that.
quote.
That's a what?
I think they do.
Really? Well, I'm thinking about the old timers who come through,
Okay.
because I hang out down at the chamber every now and then, and there's a lot of old timers that roll in there, and I know that they don't have smartphones.
All right, fair enough. Fair
All
enough.
right, they like the paper version, and I kind of like the paper version too. Okay, you guys, I'm very
No
visual.
shame.
So, all right. Well, I just wanted to put this on our radar for now, and if you guys have some time to go over the park descriptions and do your edits, and then if you guys want to just send them to me, that'll be a good start. How's that? That'll be okay? Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. Okay. Okay. Our last item of new business is to revise the wording for our memorial policy. Get to that. So, on the application, it says, please review the memorial request policy in its entirety before completing an application. Submit the completed application along with the application fee to the city clerk's department at the address shown below. The application will then be forwarded to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board, PARAB, who will be tasked with making a recommendation regarding approval. Final approval will be considered at a regular meeting of the City Council. That is the line that I would like to revise. Final approval will be considered at a regular meeting of the city council. What I've experienced is that really delays our process in getting our memorial trees planted and purchased. And same with the bench. It just adds an enormous amount of wait time to move forward with these memorial requests. So what I would like to propose to PARAB is that we change the final approval will be considered at final approval will be considered by the Park and Rec director and just eliminate the city council. And that's what I'd like to just change in that memorial request application.
And Danu, just to clarify for the minutes, this decision does not need to go to council because they didn't approve the original application. Is that correct?
PARAB originally created this memorial request application. We're the ones who did the memorial request. Tim, you were on board when we did this, weren't you?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So basically, the whole memorial request and the memorial policy was created by PARAB and not city council. So it's not like an ordinance, it's not like a formal binding thing that council had a hand in creating.
Okay.
So are you folks okay with changing that wording to say that the sorry, I lost it. To say the final approval will be made by the Park and Rec director.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
As am I. Although I'm curious,
Okay.
the way that that's written, have these requests been going to city council? I don't believe that they have.
Yeah, I had to show up for the sculpture, the art sculpture that we installed at Fields Park at the playground, the Mama Bear. And I believe that I had to go for the memorial bench that we put in at 7 Minute. So it would be saving me an extra trip to city council also, if we just let Jillian approve all of these memorial requests.
Or whomever the director is or whomever's going for it, but that sounds fine with me.
Yeah. It sounds vague?
No, I said it sounds fine with me.
Oh, okay.
I sound vague.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so final approval will be made by the Parks and Rec director. Okay, so I'll make a motion to change the wording on the memorial request application to read final approval will be made by the Parks and Rec director, Parks and Recreation director.
I'll second that.
Okay, all approve?
Hi.
Aye.
I
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes. And now we move on to other business. The city clerk has another presentation for us. And I think we're gonna do that in October. And she said that it was gonna be about an hour long session. I think she's gonna be reviewing Robert's rules and when to make motions and things of that nature. So she wanted to make sure that there will be as many people as possible that can make it October 6th for her presentation. Are you guys okay with that?
Sure.
Is she
Okay,
gonna,
this will be,
is she gonna
this'll
go
be-
first?
say again?
Is she gonna be first on the agenda? So it
Yes.
might conveniently be late?
Yes,
Just kidding.
yes, yes. So she said that she wants to request to be added to an upcoming agenda to deliver the second and final round of board training for this year. This session is called Effective Meetings, is designed to be interactive, practical, and engaging. It will cover key topics such as rules of order, making motions, meeting best practices, board-specific code, and an introduction to the Civic Clerk Board Portal, which all board members will have access to. Please note that this training will require at least an hour, possibly a bit longer, depending on the level of participation, which we strongly encourage. The more members who can attend, the more valuable and enjoyable the session will be for everyone. Okay, so that's that. So that's going to be October. Jillian and I decided we'll do that for October. So I'll keep the agenda light for October.
Great. Just hopefully no no questions like the last time.
Oh, there will be, Tim. I guarantee you.
I
She
prefer
likes
less
our
interactive.
engagement.
Less interact, all informative, less interactive. I think Rebecca supports that one.
Yeah, the amount of times I've been through Robert's rules, good gravy. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and I did point out to her that we are not quasi-judicial, and so that we don't follow Robert's rules to a T. You know, we kind of have a loose version of it, which is kind of like what we do. So, anyway, I just wanted to run that by you guys, just to give you a heads up, okay? All right, is there anything else that you all would like to discuss?
I have a quick question. I know we call the stone structure in Wheeler Spring Park a labyrinth, but it's listed as a medicine wheel in this brochure. What's the proper terminology?
Labyrinth,
Labyrinth.
medicine wheel's problematic.
Okay. Well, if you guys get a chance to go to Wheeler Spring Park, our seasonal crew, their project was to add red breeze to the interior of the labyrinth to kind of eliminate and suppress the weeds that had been growing there. It looks awesome. I would strongly recommend you going to check it out. They're really proud of it. So just wanted to give them a shout out. And yeah, the labyrinth looks great. So thanks for that. And we'll make that edit on the brochure.
Thanks, Jillian.
Yeah, thank you. I had one comment, observation, just that at the drum circles, which I know the last one was canceled, and I think there's one more, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. But I find it really problematic that the sprinklers come on at 9 p.m. I think that could be, I just think it's really problematic and like hateful towards people. I mean, if we look back in history about how like water has been used to target groups, I just don't think it's a good practice in general. And I would like the city to stop doing that and maybe try some other methods to clear people out of the park.
I doubt that's
But,
being used to clear people
how
out of the
about
park.
if the sprinklers if the sprinklers came on later, Chris, when people wouldn't be using the park, would that be acceptable?
Yeah, or early. I mean, wouldn't it be a better
Yeah,
practice?
or
I mean, I don't know
earlier.
what our capabilities are, but wouldn't it be a better practice to have them come on early morning?
I don't
We
know. It
can-
seems, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jillian.
Well, the sprinklers can be reset for different times. I think we have the sprinklers in Memorial starting at 9. I would have to double check with our park supervisor. Chris, are they coming on right where the drum circle is stationed?
Yeah. Or I mean, the park is full of like hundreds of people. It's kind of amazing the amount of people that come. And so
Yeah.
it seems like it's on purpose, even though perhaps it's not, but it seems like it's like purposely clearing people out of the park promptly at 9.
Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can look into adjusting the sprinklers. I know per the city's noise ordinance that ideally folks would be out of the park by a certain time. I can't quite remember what if it's 9 or 10 or 9:30. But that would also be something to keep in mind. Like eventually the park does need to clear out, but we can look into the adjusting the sprinklers to not rain on everyone's parade.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Chris, they've discontinued drum circle for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe for next summer then.
Yeah, they were having a problem with an individual that was harassing people.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, if the question comes up with anybody who's involved, I think that the message should be, at least from PARAB, that's not that should not be an intentional method to close the
people out.
park. I absolutely believe that that's a timing oversight, and that's the message that we should put out. I don't want anybody to think that we're discouraging use through sprinklers. That's a terrible thing.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, if not, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right.
Thanks all.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.